Paul, it's been a bit of a crazy week, but the most important thing to start with is how are all the players that tested positive last week?
Improving. They're all improving. They all seem to go through the same process, so that none of them were asymptomatic. They all felt the wee dunt they got from having the virus, but as the weeks progressed, they've progressively became better, which is pleasing, and gradually they've been on the mend, so fingers crossed. I've not spoke to any of them today, but like I say, the process has been a gradual improvement throughout the week, so I'm hoping that continues.
And it must have been disappointing to hear the SPFL's decision last night. How do you take that and then kind of turn it into motivation for tomorrow's game?
Listen, it is what it is. We're in a position that we've been kind of asked to play the game. They feel we've got a squad big enough to cover the game. I think I'm right in saying 9 players come out of isolation early hours this morning. They'll train today, albeit they can't do much. We're not doing much for the 10 days they've been in isolation, so it's not ideal. It's not ideal in terms of motivation. We shouldn't need any extra motivation anyway. It's at the start of a new league campaign, so that motivation will be in the players anyway, and that personal pride to do well, whether there was a wee bit extra adversity or not. The players would have been ready for the game, naturally motivated to go into that.
Cove Rangers are obviously a good team. They finished the league in second place last year and they've made some solid signings this summer. What's your thoughts on the challenge they're going to bring tomorrow?
Very tough, very tough. They've added brilliant experience, and Draper, Vigors, more recently Shea Logan coming into the squad, all steeped in Premier League experience over the last 10 years at least, and maybe beyond that. So the additions in their cell are excellent additions. Young Jevon Anderson coming in for Burton Albion, good pedigree as well. And obviously the core squad that they had in place that did get them to second, that they obviously have improved on that, which is huge for Paul, I'm sure. So the challenge on that one won't only be tomorrow, it'll be throughout the season, and I'm sure they'll have themselves full of confidence that they'll be up at the top end of the table again.
There's 400 tickets available to Falkirk fans on Saturday. How much would a big travelling support help the team?
Yeah, it always helps. To have backing from your own fans is always good, whether it be home or away. I think for some reason most clubs, when they do go away from home, become more vociferous, and you feel that atmosphere a wee bit more. Maybe that's the journey up and a wee bit fuel for the fire for them going into the game. So not really looking forward to that, and I'm hopeful that we try and get to that 400 or as close as we can be, and they get behind us, which I'm sure they will. There's no doubt about that. First game of the season, I'm sure they'll be as charged as we are as a group to get going and looking forward to the season ahead.
Does the kind of fact from the last week that fitness and match sharpness and a good bit of the squad will be quite low, does that give some other players a chance to step up and impress you and the fans?
Well, the likelihood is it will have to. The players that have managed to train throughout the week, I think we've probably got 5 or 6 that have managed to do that. Will be main consideration obviously for starting because of that reason, and we'll need to utilise the squad as best we can, and however that looks. I mean, it's still a wee bit up in the air, in all honesty. I'd rather be prepared better knowing my team going into the game, but with the boys not being able to train, we'll need to give them that opportunity to see how they are today, and then we'll review things tonight going into tomorrow to see what we do in terms of starting 11, and in terms of a bench, we're not even sure of that yet with the boys that aren't out of isolation until tomorrow. So we're still a wee bit up in the air, but we'll make sure come 3 o'clock tomorrow that they're as best prepared as we can make them.